Hello again, everybody. Jeff King.
And the Canadian.
Sorry you got to see us again. We're going to bring you another preview of a game. So we are going to take a look at
Stones of Fate.
Stones of Fate by Cosmic Wombat Games. Sorry, did you want to say it?
Well, I was just going to say Stones of Fate by Cosmic Wombat Games. I had a whole different inflection ready for that.
Yeah, it was much better.
Yeah.
Much better. This will be coming to Kickstarter May 24th, I believe. 23rd, 24th, somewhere in there. So it's not out yet, but it's coming very soon. So we thought we would give you a quick look at it and give you initial thoughts on it. Ready?
Waiting on you.
Let's do it.
All right. Alright, so this is Stones of Fate. It is a bit of a memory game, and it is based, the card art is based on the cards of the tarot. We'll show you some close-ups later, but you got all the standards in here, your cups, your wands, your swords, all the coins, all that fun stuff. The lovers and death, two things that always go hand in hand. This game is for 2 to 4 players, and it scales, I think, pretty well. At 2 players, there's 22 cards at in a grid 3x2, and at 3 and 4 players, it's a 3x3 grid. 3x3 grid.
The number of cards increases by players. I think it's let's see, we got 22. I think it's 33 and 41 or something like that.
Something like that.
It also comes with 4 reference cards because there are symbols on the cards that you need to know, but it also tells you the actions that you can take for your turn, so that's kind of cool. And then you also get 5 stones. I will be yellow.
I am purple.
And just like we did with our last video, we'll show you a couple rounds.
So first round actually, everything goes out face up, and you get a chance to review and hopefully memorize. So here's where the memory aspect comes in. For instance, this card, you've got your green circles on the side. That means you have to have exactly that many tokens there to win this card. Yes, it has nothing else. So when we flip these cards, you flip on the short side. So you also have to now kind of remember where your tokens are. When this card is face up, they're going to be here. But many cards have multiple symbols, so you've got to remember what the symbols are and where they're going to be when they're face up.
Yep. So like, for instance, this card here, which is our, Page of Wands, you'll see that there are the infinity symbol on one side, and then the other 3 sides have basically like a circle with a line through it. And what that means is if you have any stones on any of those sides, you cannot win this card. The infinity symbol means you just got to have the most on the card, and it's got to be in one of those spots. So even if I had, say, like 3 stones on the infinity symbol side, if I had 1 stone down here, I cannot win this card.
Many cards have when flipped or when won abilities. Maybe we'll see some of those. We're not going to do a full game here. We're just going to do a couple turns so you can see the mechanics.
But end of game would be when we go through, again, for 2 players, we've got 22 cards. Each time a card is scored, it's taken away, and a new card comes out face down to replace it. When we take the last card out of the 22 cards and put it down, that's end game. All of them will get flipped, and anything that can score will score, and then we just add up points. All right, so we're going to go ahead and flip these. I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah.
Since we're, and then...
so on your turn,
yep.
You get 2 actions. You can place a stone. You can look at a card. It goes back face down. or you can reveal a card. You can place up to 2 stones. It's 1 stone each action. You can look at 2 different cards. But if you're going to try to score a card, you do need to reserve one of your actions to flip it. So I've placed my stone. So currently I'm impacting these 2 cards. If I placed a stone here, I would only be impacting this card. You cannot go in quadrant. You can only go between. So for my first action, I'm going to place a stone. For my second action, I'm going to flip a card on the short side. So the infinity symbol means you total up the total number of tokens there.
Yeah.
I only have 1 token, so I win because Jeff has none.
Now, just real quick to show, even though there are 2 infinity symbols on this card, it's just a total between those 2 sides. So he does not need to have a token or a stone on each side. He just needs to have the most on these 2 sides. And it also has the Forbidden Zone icon, which means as long as he doesn't have stones on the long ends here, he can win it. If he did have a stone, he couldn't win that card.
So I've won this card. It's the 10 of Swords. It's worth -2, but it has a when won condition. When I win this card, I may, you don't have to, I may give this card to another player.
I think you want to keep that.
No, I think I'll give it to Jeff because I'm feeling generous.
And he lost earlier, so you know.
And then it's replaced face down. So now, well, I've already forgotten what the other 5 cards are, and I don't know what this is.
All right, so my turn. Yeah, I don't remember either. So I'm just going to look at one. All right. I didn't like looking at that. And that didn't help me well. Alright, so that was my 2. I looked at 2 different cards for my turn.
Alright, so I'll throw a stone down here. And... no, I won't. I'll throw a stone down here. And then I'll reveal it. So,
well done.
This is green circles, so according to the reference card, you got to have as many tokens as you do have green circles. So I have 1 green circle, I have 1 token, I win. When I win this card, I may, I'm not going to, but I may trade this card to another player. I'm not going to.
Now, this is where we talked before about the infinity symbol and not needing them on all sides. If there were other green symbols on this card, you do have to match all of the symbols to win. So if there were 2 green dots up here, he would need 1 stone here and 2 stones up here to win the card. But this particular one just has the 1.
And then that shuffles off, haha, to my scoring pile, and I replace it.
Alright. I think I'm going to put a stone here. I'm going to try to... okay, I did do that. Alright, so I do have a stone on the infinity symbol side. The other 3 sides are, you can't have a stone there, so I do win this card. It's the Page of Wands. Now, the Page of Wands is worth 1 point, but it has an asterisk next to it that says this card is worth 3 points if you have 3 or more wand cards in your collection. So if I happen to come across more wand cards coming out, I'm going to possibly want to get them. So this card is worth more points. And then another card will come out. And from there, again, you rinse and repeat. You have your 3 actions that you can take. You can take 2 actions. So peek at a card. You can also, you don't have to look here. You can look at the next one coming out if you want to. And then you can, place or move your stone. Because obviously, you can get to a point in the game where your stones are all kind of already out there, and this card, let's say that this card just came out. I have no idea what it is, but maybe I do know what this one is, so I can take my stone from here, move it to there as part of the action, and then of course flip a card. If you ever flip a card and it doesn't score,
let's do that here.
Yeah, so somebody would have had to have had a stone up top here. To win this card, and no stones on these 2 sides. this one is flipped. Nobody can win it. It just basically gets discarded, and another face down card replaces it. And again, you just keep going until you get to the bottom of this deck. When that last card comes out, everything gets flipped, and you decide if anybody wins those cards.
When the last card's out, like Jeff said, everything gets flipped. No more no more stones are moved. So it's just a little bit of bonus pointing in the last round.
Yep. So yeah, last chance for some extra points. And then of course some of the abilities can still kick in, like the win-win. I don't think the flips will.
No, I don't.
Flips
think so.
don't come into effect, but if you win the card, the win-win effect can. So that is Stones of Fate in a very quick nutshell. It is a very quick game, 20-30 minutes tops. And so now I think we'll tell you initial impressions of this game.
Yeah. Stones of Fate by
Cosmic Wombat Games!
Initial Impressions.
Yeah. What do you think? I think I went first on last video. So
I was leery when you described the game to me. I have never been a strong memory person, and I was expecting something like a horrible combination of concentration and, well, anything that you could combine concentration with. But it's actually much lighter than that, and it goes a lot faster than that. One of the victory conditions is on a tie, play another game. And when you read that to me, I was almost about to just not play the game. But the game goes very quickly. It's
we actually did tie the first time we played, and we played another game.
Yeah. So I after getting a couple plays, well, even after just the first play, I immediately changed my mind. And I have to say, I do enjoy this. It's very fast. There is memorization there, but if you're just concentrating on one or two cards, you're just doing one or two turns in advance, that's really all you need to worry about. You're not having to memorize, 24 symbols. And the artwork's very nice. I'm very keen on the artwork. The tarot theme itself, I'm neither here nor there on that, but the actual art on the cards is very nice. And the componentry's good. If what goes on Kickstarter is what comes out of this box, I think it's pretty good. And so initial impressions, I really like it.
Yeah, I have to agree pretty much across the board. I think the general theme idea was that you're kind of working towards your own fate or your own destiny by collecting these cards. I give or take that. That's fine. I do. The artwork is very nice on the cards. The tarot thing again, yeah, I can take it or leave it. But the artwork for the tarot cards is very nice. The cards that have extra abilities are pretty cool, and it's kind of fun to see them come into play a bit. Always remember to fully read your card. Screwed myself a few times by going, oh, this is no, I didn't read the
That's just me giving Jordan 3 points.
Yeah, that's
I appreciate it.
Good. But yeah, it plays quick. I'm with Jordan. I'm not a huge memory card or memory game person. I would say, at max, this goes by a 3x3 grid. I think if you went any farther than that, then you would start to get into what Jordan and I initially thought we were going to run into, where it just was too much. But even then, you kind of start... You've only got like 5 stones. So if you've got a bunch of stones out, you're kind of concentrating around certain cards. At least we did. And maybe that's because we are weak memory players. I don't know, but we kind of concentrate on. Oh, I got a ton of stones in this area. I want to kind of know what those cards are. And then if it wasn't working out for us to keep our stones there, then we would kind of gradually move away. So the memory thing wasn't that big a deal. Initially, I was a little hesitant as well, but after one play, really liked this game. It's not a hardcore game. It's a lighter game, but a light strategy game, and I think it has a good place in a game night. So, Stones of Fate, Cosmic Wombat Games, coming to Kickstarter May 23rd or 24th. I want to say 24th, I think, if I remember right. So check it out. Thanks.